Hello, everyone. Welcome to Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. I am your returning host, Ryan Doze. I'm back from being gone for a week, but it feels like it might as well have been a decade. It was really good to be gone. That episode that Faz put together was bonkers fun to listen to, so I hope you've all checked it out. And in celebration of the guest host, guest producer, guest leader of the pod from last week, we're doing a Faz-centered episode today, also with a returning Will Rose. So, what? Hey, Faz, we're calling this episode Tales of Fazgard, but I feel like you need to start with just how excited we are to have Will back.
Oh man,
it's too long.
Like listeners who've been hearing the last 5 or 6 episodes, because Will's been gone, have been hearing me get increasingly sad and whiny about the fact that he's not here, to the point where I'd given up on ever seeing him again, and I fully replaced him with Eric and Josh. So all it took was me threatening his spot on the podcast, and he's immediately back, listeners. So let it be a lesson to you. Online hate works. You can get things done. God. It worked for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it worked for getting Will Rose back on the podcast.
It didn't work for the Acolyte, but it will work for this podcast. Let's just say I was taking care of my ailing parents down in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Making me look bad.
And I was listening to the latest Across the Bifrost, and I felt like I was being replaced. And I was like, wait, Bill and Kay, you can take care of yourselves. I'm rushing back to Chapel Hill to my golden microphone to be on this podcast. So I think Bill and Kay are going to be all right. We'll see. Jury's still out there. I'll check on with them in a little bit. I'll text them. But I'm on this podcast because I was scared I was going to be replaced.
Well, much like the Silver Surfer, who we often compare you with, you were like, podcast to me.
To me, my podcast. To me and my podcast. We need
to me, my podcast. Oh man, I know we've talked on the phone a few times this summer, and we've kind of just been staying out of your hair, metaphorically. We've been staying out of your business, not trying to load up your schedule. We are super duper pumped that you're back, and I couldn't think of an episode to welcome you back that's more fitting to where Faz is going to tell us some tales of Fazgard.
This feels like the least fitting episode to return to.
Hey, Faz,
look, it's called Setting the Lure, and you just ruined it. You let the fish get away.
Listeners, it's the greatest episode of all time. Don't worry. All the friends are saying it's the best episode. Everybody agrees. I'm doing the hand signals for the people who know what I'm referencing. You thought our Dotterman
episode was great? Tales of Fazgard is going to kick your ass.
Yeah, I mean, that's not true. Russell's pretty awesome.
I started a campfire. Awesome. I grabbed a beer. I'm warming up. You're ready to go. Tales of Fazgard. I can't wait for the story. I can't wait to get in the middle of the story and then finish it. I couldn't wait to get back. So yeah, we're
awesome.
We're here. Yeah, you listen to our Patreon. What's the name of that episode?
Giant Size Pre-Show number 1.
Tales of K-Rose.
Drunk to death.
So many things.
Drunk to death. DEAF.
Will tells the best bear story that's ever been told.
We learned the attractiveness of his mother. There's a lot of important things on that episode.
A lot of things we need to get into.
People who have not joined Patreon, have you ever wondered, is Will Rose's mom hot? You'll find out on our.
This is the hard-hitting journalism we do.
From her very own son, you will find out. But anyway, we're here to talk today about Faz, because it was his birthday recently, quite a few weeks ago, and we didn't fit in his birthday episode as regularly.
How old did you turn, Faz? How old?
I am 1,500 years old. I've killed at least twice as many, and each and every one of them would have rather killed me. Thanos is just the latest in a long line of bastards, and he's the latest to feel my vengeance. Fate wills it so, William.
Is that from a movie or something?
I have a birthday coming up too here in a couple weeks.
I know. So we're gonna be doing a Will Rose birthday.
You got to start thinking about what you want to do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But today,
I pitched it already, and you guys were like, "Haha, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I want to do."
What was the pitch again?
Breaking to Electric Boogaloo.
Oh my gosh. Hey, you know what? Let's worry about Will's birthday when Will's birthday comes up, because we're already weeks behind on Faz's. Faz, so kind of just tell us what Tales of Fazgard is going to be, and what maybe a little bit of what we're going to talk about, and we'll launch into a few of these tales.
So, listeners, we're going to talk briefly about some of my many gallivants around the Rainbow Bridge across Comic-Cons
You're such
hitherto
a
undreamt of.
Skip.
We're going to discuss all the Thor related ones first, and then depending on timing, you might get a few bonus hits. But the important thing is to talk about a lot of the cool Thor people that I've met to make specifically Ryan jealous and Will proud is kind of the reason.
Wow.
Cheers.
As if I couldn't be proud of you and Will couldn't be jealous of you.
Correct choice of words.
So
how do you want to do this, Ryan?
Start? Where do you want to start?
All right. Well, first we have to set the pace. We got to set the table, listeners. Think back to Immortal Thor number, I want to say 7 or 8. Loki is retelling a classic tale at a fire. It's an Utgard tale. We've allowed Ryan out of the Utgard realm for this. He mentioned that at the beginning. He was locked away. We've let him back just for now, but we'll see. We can always lock him back if we need to. And your Skald of Fazgard, Faz himself, is here to teach you a story. It all begins in the urban metropolis of Chicago, Illinois, in 2019. My then girlfriend, soon to be fiance and future wife, Cynthia, and I
thought that was going to go much differently. My then girlfriend, who I dumped.
No. Decided that we would drive on down to Ace Comic-Con in Chicago. Now, Chicago for us is about a 6-hour drive. We also did it in the classic Faz way of 10 o'clock at night to 4 o'clock in the morning for reasons that I don't entirely understand. But we got there, met up with a buddy at a Red Roof Inn or something, had a nice sleep. We went to the convention. Now, there was one specific reason for this convention, my fellow Asgardians. Chris fucking Hemsworth. So this was the Comic-Con.
The GOAT.
The greatest of all time, period. Other than Will Rose, but that's different. See,
I heard
that goes without saying.
Wait, who I just heard and read an article, he was going to play Hulk Hogan until Hulk Hogan ripped his shirt off at the Republican National Convention. They were like, "We're canceling that fucking movie."
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I'm sorry, I'm out, man.
Yeah.
Peace
was he'd been planning on it for 2 or 3 years, and then Hulk Hogan got very, very, very political, and people were like, maybe we shouldn't spend $200 million on this. Yeah.
Nice.
So
that being said,
as we got there, the tickets for Hemsworth actually sold out in 13 seconds and went for sale on my birthday in 2019. So I had a large number of people prepared to try to get tickets for me, and I managed to get them myself. No one else was able to, because I was able to check out within 7 seconds. We were able to get the tickets to see him. We got to the con. I was in my Thor Infinity War costume.
Nice.
And the line for the autographs was kind of stressing me out because it was moving very slowly. There were only 20 or 30 people who got autographs. I was in that line, thankfully, but it was moving very slowly. I was getting very nervous. And by the time that we got to the front, I found out why. So the person in front of me was somebody who'd come in from, I think, Japan, and she had purchased 20 photos with him. So she'd done her 20 photos, and then she was here to get her autograph. And this guy took her by the hands, looked her directly in the eyes, and thanked her so much for coming. She was bawling her eyes out, told her that it was extremely nice of her to do all this and to come all this way to meet him and to just thank her. And then another person came here, did the exact same thing. He was very friendly, thankful. Everybody got a couple minutes with him. Now, people who frequent Comic Cons would know that most celebrities give you 10 seconds. Thanks for coming. Here's an autograph. Get the fuck out of my life. He was making sure each person got specific time, which was really cool. When it was my turn, I was in my foam costume made myself. And the first thing he did was get all excited about the costume. We talked about it for 2 or 3 minutes, how it was made, what it was like. And then he saw my Stormbreaker, and his handler was like, no. And he was like, yes. And his handler was like, no. And he was like, yes. Yeah. And he just reached over the thing, grabbed it, and started swinging it around. And the handler was not pleased, but I was very pleased. He told me that it was better than the one they had in the movie, which is false, but I appreciate it. And then he signed my Mjolnir, and we went on our way. So it was a very cool experience. Got a couple photos with him as well as with Tessa Thompson, which makes Ryan jealous and Will happy. And then
well, me and Brian. Brian and I are
And
both
yeah, Brian, of course, yeah. And then let's see what else happened at that con. And then we learned afterwards that both he and Brie Larson uh, commanded a $1 million fee each of them to be there, and immediately donated that fee once they got there. So he convinced the con to give him that much money, and then he immediately put it to like children's hospitals, and she put it to women's health centers. And then yeah, so forever a cool guy. The only other thing that's interesting about Hemsworth on this one is that he was filming in India, filming Extraction, and he flew into Chicago on a like 18-hour flight. They lost his luggage. He just went to the mall and bought some clothing, went to the convention for 3 days, and then flew back to India to continue filming. So he did the entire thing so he could donate $1 million to charities, right? So pretty fucking cool. So rest assured, listeners, Thor is a cool guy in real life.
That's okay. That's all right. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're into that, like, you know, philanthropy, cool dude kind of.
If you're into like helping humanity, I guess.
Also, I highly doubt that Chris Hemsworth went to the mall.
So he did, because apparently the mall was shut down for like an hour, and people were like, "This is so annoying. Why is the mall shut down?" It's because he went and he was getting swarmed, and they had to like have security block off a part for him to go and get some clothing and whatnot. Yeah.
No offense, but Chris, it feels like you have people for that.
Yeah, he's just a guy, man, and he didn't bring his whole team with him to frickin' Chicago when they were in India, right? He just snuck out and snuck back. Yeah.
Like, hey, someone like your handler guy, or like, I don't know. The handler sounds like he was uptight anyway. Send him away so that he doesn't ruin anybody else's day. Hey,
what year was this again?
Hey, Mike, go give me some shirts.
2019, Will, back before the scary times.
Before times.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, by the
you were
scary
still a teenager. You were still a teenager then.
The guys mean before we met. That's what the before times.
That's what the before times are. Yes.
Okay, I was just double checking. Yeah. So, Faz, you've met the man that brought Thor to life for, let's be honest, most people that are fans of Thor, myself included. You know, we probably saw the movies and then we went to comics. Can you tell us some of the comics people you've met since becoming, you know, part of the cosplay community and going to Comic-Cons and, you know, who are some of those?
Wait. Let me just say, like, Faz, so you saw movies first, then comics?
So it was like, so for me, it was
then cosplay, then comics?
Yeah, like movies, cosplay, comics. So COVID was what got me really into comics. I'd read some here or there, but I read the whole Jason Aaron run at the beginning of COVID. And that was when it became, oh man, these comics are really cool. And then Donny Cates was coming out, so I was trying to follow that as it went. And then some random podcast started trying to ask me to participate a couple times, and after 2 or 3 attempts I was like, sure, whatever, fuck it. And then I realized he had asked
next. It's like, was Ryan reached out to you and like, hey, you want to chat real fast? Because I think
I think Ryan had spoken to a couple other cosplayers and he was looking for like cosplay specific stuff to put into it. I don't really remember. Ryan, do you remember?
No, it was that, because I had interviewed a few cosplayers before you, Faz, and
I was not Ryan's first love. I was just the one he was willing to marry. That's all.
Right. The others walked so you could run. That's what happened.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, and truly, I think I did 3 or 4 big like cosplay interviews with you know, people that had a good amount of followers, what I would consider a good amount of followers, and then Faz, like, honestly, and like, I don't know if I've ever told you this, Faz, but like, I looked at your page and I was like, oh, he cosplays Thor and he doesn't look like a fucking douche. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll ask him. And I mean, honestly, dude, we hit it off so easily.
Yeah.
That I was like, okay, this,
I love this.
Is probably something more like I'll bet he'll come back. Because the other guys, like,
you could feel a tingle somewhere, you know?
Son of a bitch.
In your earlobe.
So yeah, then the greatest trio in Thor themed podcasting was born.
It's true.
And and I'm trying to remember, like, I don't want to divert anything, but like the first time us 3, we need to find like our first 3 episode, like re-release. Like that's a collector's issue. Like
that is a collector's issue. Yeah.
What is the first issue that us 3 just like, oh, we're together. Hey, Faz, I meet you for the first time. Oh, you have 20,000 Instagram followers. That's cool.
We were probably so much less funny then too, because we were much more serious like this.
Hey,
there was much.
hey, Faz, I'm trying to act normal towards you.
Yeah.
So you don't hate me.
Hello, my name is Will. Hello, my name is Faz, and
I'm like,
and this
hey,
is my
Faz,
friend Ryan
have you seen
Doze.
pictures
Yeah.
of my mom? Do you think she's hot? Like,
Yeah,
I like those weird things. Like,
Sorry, that is a very inappropriate question. I will not be answering that
Because
question.
the answer is yes, and I'm offended you'd
Because
even
the
ask.
answer is yes.
hey, bro.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, if you're listening and you haven't checked out our a giant sized Patreon episode, what? Come on. Like it's only a few bucks a month. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You get
Jason
to know
Aaron's
so much more about
Jason
it.
Aaron has listened, so you need to as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Also, listeners, you can tell this is a Faz themed episode because we're remembering to make Patreon stings before the final 3 minutes because we always forget. But I like to try to remember to put them in. Get in there if you like what we do. If you want to support us, number one, please listen. Number two, a couple bucks a month allows Ryan, Will, and I to get to read everything we need to. A little more than that, and maybe we'll be at a Comic-Con together someday. So if you really love us, that's the way to do it.
Someday we will make it happen. But Faz, things that you've already made happen
Okay.
are meeting comic book people. Like it was the last kind of piece of your fandom to fall into
Damn,
place.
Will. Damn. Sorry, listeners. Will has sent a photo of his mom.
Are you kidding me? Will, we're trying to do a main feed episode right now. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Very good. Very good. Anyway, so listeners, I want you to take back
I can't believe you just did that.
to the urban metropolis, to the concrete jungle of Toronto, Ontario. Because
as the Inuit called it,
as the Haudenosaunee probably call it, Toronto. Yeah. So, Toronto Comic Con Fan Expo Canada last year. I had been working on a more classic Jason Aaron Thor look based on the Thor Love and Thunder homage to it that they had. And then I put on my helmet, had an eye patch, was working on a destroyer arm, so on and so forth. My favorite Jason Aaron cover of the entire run is the one where Thor is reaching his arm out for Mjolnir, and it's the destroyer arm. And it's done by Mike Del Mundo. And Deadly Mike himself was at Fan Expo. So I was wearing that costume. Mike was going to be there. Fan Expo was in Toronto.
Ooh,
and Mike's Canadian.
Toronto. So. And Mike's Canadian, so he goes. He's going this year too. He's going there, and he'll be there on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He's there right now. The convention's currently ongoing.
Oh, cool.
And he walked over to him. He was like, "Oh my God, it's Thor!" He wouldn't charge me for an autograph. He took some photos.
Oh, really?
He was a very nice man, which was great because I don't think I had known that he was on the podcast already. So when I came back, I said to you guys,
we clarified that afterwards.
Yeah,
that's right.
You're like, you should get Mike Del Mundo on. I was like, dude, it already happened.
You're like, this is before Faz. Yeah. So yeah, he was freaking awesome. We got a really cool photo together. He signed my book, and that was phase one of my need to get this book signed because listeners, later on we had to move to a different metropolis. Thor's favorite Midgardian metropolis, in fact, the York that is new. And at New York Comic Con, the next
not Old York, New York.
Yeah, we're not in England. We're in America because Thor loves America. Anyway, same costume. This time I've got a destroyer arm, and our Allfather was present. Jason Aaron was there. So as I was walking by one day, I was in my Captain America costume actually. I ran into him. He wasn't supposed to be signing it, but he was there. So I was like, shit, okay, well, I should take the opportunity to, meet Jason Aaron. So I walked over, said hi, told him who I was, told him how I knew you guys. And he was like, oh, yeah, that podcast. Sure. Signed some books for me, went on the way. But that was kind of that because I was just some guy in a Captain America costume who bought a couple books from Jason Aaron. Day 2, though, listeners, I was back in my Viking Thor costume. Ooh. And I go there and he goes, holy shit, it's Thor. And I'm like, yeah, it is Jason. Let's go. And he signed that same cover for me. We talked a bit about how much his series meant to me. He thought that was really cool. And then he also mentioned, hey, Assad's here, right? And I was like, excuse me? And he's like, yeah, he's not listed as a guest or anything. He's just doing sketches up upstairs if you want to like.
Hold on, Assad Ribic was not listed as a guest.
No, because he was there with like Anthony's Comic Art, the company, where he was like being like you could order commissions ahead of time, and he would do paint commissions for you at the Comic-Con. That was his job. That's why he was there.
But to not even list him.
Well, he wasn't in Artist Alley. He was at Anthony's Comic Art, so it's a different scenario. Sort of like how Alex Ross wasn't listed as a guest because the Art of Alex Ross was there, and Alex Ross was at the Art of Alex Ross booth. So like you could figure it out, but. Like this con, Walt Simonson was at New York Comic Con last year and they didn't list it, so I didn't meet him.
Yeah. That's a fucking travesty.
Which I want to do a GoFundMe so that like us three can be at a con at some point, like NC Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, like
tell you what, Chilliam, it almost happened with New York Comic Con, and that we almost entered our podcast and would have gotten blown away because they're looking for diverse views, and we are 3 white men. But New York Comic Con does have a creator program that we could try to get in. Anyway, so I go over to Assad Ribic, and this man is so funny because he's like, yeah, I mean, your costume's good. There's a few things I would change. You know, there's a few problems here or there. And then he's like,
not total shit.
He's like literally that's probably what he said. Like it's the best one I've seen. Not great, but like better than the others.
Not great. That's the best one I've seen.
And then he was like, you know what's fucking ridiculous? And he showed me the Marvel Legends Gore figure, and he's like, they gave him a regular foot. Gore has a goat foot. What the fuck, Marvel? He was like, why? It's one regular foot, one goat foot. What are they doing? They give this to me. Marvel's at the convention. They give this to me and say thanks for Gore, and they give me this fucking inaccurate Gore. He was very upset.
Oh my gosh!
And then
he's a large man, so I would not want to piss him off.
So I am
chucking some scotch, just boom, boom.
Like I don't know if you guys have seen that post, but like I've got the big wings, I've got like stilts in my shoes and stuff, and he's like at least a head taller than me still. He is a large dude. It was very fun because he was very friendly and very nice, but also like being told like the destroyer arm's okay, you should probably change this, or like you don't know if that's the right accurate helmet, stuff like that. Very, very, very funny.
So one of my favorite things, and it's not even something Assad did, but like Jason Aaron posted this cover a while back of Assad doing Uncle Scrooge.
Yeah.
In my mind, having met Assad, via Zoom, I'm just like, I wonder what that pitch from an editor was like. Like, hey, we should get to do a variant cover for this Uncle Scrooge comic, Assad Ribic, and I just like him getting the email. It's like, takes a big drag off a cigarette, and he's like, fine.
It's like, has the check cleared? Has the check cleared? The check is cleared.
I paint this duck shit.
I paint motherfucking duck. Mother ducking
gosh.
fuck.
Duck
By the way, hey, like part of me is like, oh, this is a caricature of him. He would never say this. I'm like, I don't know if that's true, actually.
Yeah. You guys had a really nice late night conversation where it was like 3 a.m. for you both, right?
Dude.
And it was just the most swearing. Yeah.
I think Torin still holds the record.
Ding, ding,
Torin,
ding.
Boy howdy.
Go find that in the deep.
If we had YouTube, we would have been extremely demonetized for that one.
Yeah. Or viral.
It was so freaking worth it.
Oh yeah.
Faz,
we got time for one more?
We got time for one more Tales of Fazgard.
All right. Well, listeners, let's take it to the greatest city on the planet. All roads lead to Uncasville,
Nebraska.
Connecticut. So close for a truly terrific con known as Terrificon.
Boo!
My
suck.
My buddy and I finished work at 4 p.m. and drove 10.5 hours to get to Uncasville. And the reason, dear listeners, was because the all-father of all fathers himself was there. That's right. Last week I met Walt fucking Simonson.
Woo!
So we got there very early. We waited in long lines. By the time I got to the actual Walt part of it, there were 15 people in front of me, and the staff said that they were going to be sticking with 15 sketches for Walt. Now, normally, you'd cry, you'd go about your business, go on your way. Listeners, I had just driven 10 and a half hours and brought my fucking giant blue Thor costume. So I was head to toe. I was in this full armor, and I said to the people in front of me, like, look, I'm just going to stand in this line. Let's see what happens. And they were like, I don't know, man. They were pretty mean to me. And the people did not once question, Thor's there. I'm not telling them, no, that's dangerous. We're going to see what we do. So Walt eventually rolls up. Wheezy was supposed to come too, but she unfortunately was sick, so she had to cancel.
Yeah.
So Walt shows up. First thing he does.
No, that is Walt's wife, Louise.
Yes, who is one of the greatest of all time X-Men writers. That's very important to note. Yeah.
Power pack.
It's not like a kid with asthma that will just come with him.
Yeah, no, she is everything he is to Thor, she is to the X-Men, which is a very important note there. But she couldn't make it, which is too bad, because I had a couple books that would have had her signed too, but that's neither here nor there. The lines would have killed me. So I'm sitting in the sketch line. Walt shows up, and he kind of tells each little area. There's a signature side and there's a sketch side. I'm on the sketch line. My buddy's in the signature line for me. And he tells the people at the front, like, this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to do like 3 or 4 signature people and a sketch. 3 or 4 signature people and a sketch. And as he's walking around to tell each group of people this, he stops and he looks at me and he goes, basically gives me a thumbs up and keeps doing what he's doing. And then he tells all of us, he's going to number us from 1 to 25. So not 15, but 25. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, perfect. It's good to go. The kid in front of me who was really nervous was like, well, that's great news, Mr. Simonson, because there's only 15 of us. And he said, oh, buddy, I hope you're right for your sake. And then he went back walking. And then when he came back with the numbers, he went 17, 25. Sorry, kid. And the kid, you could see his heart drop. But he was number 18. It was fine. Actually, he was number 17 because I was number 18, listeners.
Okay.
So
I'm nervous, and I know you already got the signatures.
I know.
I'm still nervous.
I've seen the post.
At 18, it was kind of, he said he was going to get to 25. He told everybody else to come back at 3 p.m. And then if there were still spots, he would do them. Then the signature line starts moving, but it quadruples in size because people were holding spots. The sketch line, though, we had markings. Like my finger was marked 18. If you had a marked number, then you could get a sketch. And if you didn't, then you couldn't. So we're kind of, a lot of people leave and then come back when it's their time. When the signature line, it's my buddy's near the front, I switch with him, so I get to meet Walt the first time. He signed 6 books for me. I got to tell him how important the run was to me. He had no limit. They'd asked for, try to keep it under 10, but people had 40 and he signed all 40. It was kind of rude, actually, because like the lines were long and people who had 40, they would take 15 minutes of his time, right? So just a little rude, but 6 was a good number, I thought. He signed Beta Ray Bill #1, like the Ballad of Beta Ray Bill. He signed the end of the Surtur Saga. He signed the recent variant cover he did that I'd seen the original art for at New York Comic Con because it was auctioned there. From I think it's the annual. That's that one. Yeah. He signed
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. He signed the Thor versus the World Serpent. He signed the first appearance of the blue battle armor, which I was wearing the inspired armor for, of course. And then he signed Thor 350 for me because that one has Thor and Beta Ray Bill on the cover.
Yeah.
So it was very cool. He really liked the armor. We took a photo together. I handed him Mjolnir because as the Allfather, he's the one who needs to determine worthiness. And he said, no, you should be holding this too. So we both held it for the photo, which was really cool. And then go ahead.
Go ahead, Faz. Sorry.
No. You go ahead, Ragai, because there's a second half of the story. But yeah,
as we wrap up, and I want you to finish the story. But as we wrap up, I've heard this thing about Walt Simonson from a few different people, even people that like worked at Marvel, where they say like Walt Simonson is one of, if not the nicest man in comics.
He's probably the nicest. Find that to be true? He's probably the nicest person I've ever met. He was very funny.
Wait, what? You've met me.
I'm sorry, Chilliam. He wins. He
you write a billion comics and we'll get back to you.
For his lunch break, he said he turned to everybody and he said, I love you all, but I love my wife more, and I told her I'd call her at lunchtime, so I'm going to go give her a call now.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
Like you just can't compete with that, Will. You're great, don't get me wrong.
I'm going to call Cindy right now. See you later, guys. I'm going to go call Cindy.
Get your ass back here.
So to finish,
like, where are you right
now? Because I know we're podcast. I know we're up against it time wise, and we got more to do. So the the last thing that happened was 3 hours later, it was my turn for the sketch. And both times, listeners, my goal was to plug the pod, tell them what was going on, so on and so forth. Completely tongue-tied, meeting Walt Simonson both times. When it was time for the sketch, I got up there and he said, "Hello again, Thor." And he was like, "I think I know what character you want me to do. Do you have kind of any preference as to what version?" And I like put my hands up to my helmet and was able to barely squeak out, like, "Do you think you'd be able to draw this version of Thor?" And he said, earnestly, not making a joke, like, "I mean, I'll try. We'll have to see what happens, won't we?" And then,
I'll try.
And then he, in 7 minutes, I know that because my friend recorded him doing it. He kept looking up at me, having me turn and stuff so you can get a good view for it, and he drew me, listeners. So I have a blank Immortal Thor 1 cover that has Thor wearing my armor on it, drawn and signed by Walt Simonson. So
you have another one that Martin Kokolek had drawn?
I have
a few blank covers.
I have 2 more blank covers available in case the opportunity arises, but this one will always be very special. And
Dude,
it was worth the long drive. It was one of the coolest experiences I've had in comics and cosplay. Being able to tell someone whose work means so much how much it meant in person like that, and then be able to get that sort of reminder of it is really cool. So now I need to get myself a very cool UV resistant frame to protect this thing forever.
Oh man, Faz, thank you for telling us all those stories for your birthday episode. I really appreciate it, man. That's just like kind of the cool part of it. Some of the times, the people that make your fandom even more, like, they actually are cool people.
Yeah, like, and there's lots of stories I've got with people that were okay, but like all the most important ones so far have been legitimately very great people, and that's something that makes it like you just become more of a fan, right?
And that's like in terms of cons and going to meet people and see like the vendors and meeting your artists and authors who create these stories that we really love, like to have sign your books, but also just a little bit of FaceTime to get a glimpse of their personality. Like, so Ryan and I have done a Comic-Con together. We've done some things together. We've done some panels. Alyssa Wong was like fantastic. Like I would love for us 3 to be at a con at some point. So that's our goal, folks. Like, yeah, I'm dead serious. Let's do a GoFundMe. Let's figure out a way we can all gather at a con to do a panel or hang out and do a live recording with a creator-owned stuff. Like, we could do it at North Carolina. We could do it in Canada. We could do it in, I don't know, Nebraska of all places. Like, we could figure out a place.
Got to be in America for Ryan. That's how it goes.
I know. But like, we can make this happen. In the next couple of years, we're going to make this happen. And yeah, folks, whether you're a Patreon or supporter or GoFundMe, like, support us so we can make this happen. It's going to be fun. For our listeners who love what we do, to have us hang together in person to do a panel, that's the goal. One more quick hit I forgot to mention. The one thing I forgot to mention about why Walt is the nicest man in comics is because people of his stature now charge thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars for signatures,
and they can. It's their
drawing,
right.
so on and so forth. Walt can do that too. But what Walt does instead is he asks for a donation to his Heroes Initiative charity. All the money for every convention he goes to funding struggling comic artists and writers who can't afford healthcare and other things like that as they're trying to make it in the industry. So not only is this man charging way less than other people do, but everything he gets, he then donates to make sure these people are taken care of. And if that's not just the coolest thing, then there's nothing else to say, really.
That's a hero right there. Oh, man. Faz, thank you for sharing all those stories. Everybody, if you want to check out our links for social media, for Patreon, they're all down below. You can check those all out right now. Join Discord, get involved in the conversation over there. We love y'all. We're going to wrap this one up, and we will see you down the road as we hop aboard the Rainbow Bridge and we get moving. We hope that you've had a good time listening to us as you go out from here. Just remember, whatever you're doing, no matter where you're going, no matter what you're going to be about, just remember to stay worthy.